Arizona is returning from a road trip, an East Coast road trip, and you know I like to fade teams in that spot. And in the final two games of that road trip against Philadelphia, Arizona was held to one run in both games. Now, granted, one of those games was against one of the hottest pitchers in baseball, Zach Wheeler, but still, this is a team that's not scoring a lot of runs, and they're going to be facing Minnesota's Joe Ryan, who has allowed 2 runs or less in 5 of his last 6 starts. And for the season, 3 runs or less in 12 of his 15 starts. Ryan is a pitcher that goes 6 or 7 innings. He's not your typical 5 innings and they yank him right away. This is a guy that'll get some depth. And one of the reasons why I'm going to look full game rather than go first 5. Arizona's going to counter with Brandon Pfaadt. I've got some red flags with him in his last couple starts. In his last 2 starts, he did allow 1 run 2 starts back and 3 runs in his last start. But I'm going to circle that last start. This is a guy that for the majority of his starts, in fact, 6 straight prior to the last one, he had struck out 5 to 9 batters. He does get strikeouts. In his last start, even though he only gave up 3 runs, he had 0 strikeouts. That is a huge red flag for me. And I think, you hear me make references to pitchers. I look at them. I look at their game-by-game analysis, their stats, and I do it like I'm reading the racing form at the track. Pitchers, like horses, go in and out of form, and I think he's about to go out of form. I'm going to take the hotter team. Minnesota's 8-3 over their last 11 games. I'll ride a hot pitcher in Joe Ryan, a hot team in Minnesota, and fade Arizona returning home from the road trip. Give me Minnesota against Arizona tonight, full game wager.
So Joe Ryan's got really impressive numbers. You talked about some of them. I mean, consistently keeping Minnesota in games with a chance to win. And yet, when you look at the actual results of the games that he's pitching, Twins are 500. He's put up these monster numbers, and Minnesota's 7-7 his last 14 starts, dating back to the beginning of April. When you see a guy like that who's been pretty dominant, but the team hasn't been consistently winning for him, does that concern you? Is that one of those things is that a red flag? Is that a non-factor? And what do you attribute that to?
Well, Teddy, it's frustrating as a handicapper when you got a good pitcher that is, pitching his guts out and can't get any run support. But sometimes I think it's a mental issue. And that mental issue is, the team knows they got the ace up on the board, pitching. And maybe they don't come into the game, as focused, knowing that, hey, we don't have to be on our best game because we got, Joe on the hill. Whereas if it's one of those mediocre guys, it drives you crazy the other way. You got a guy that pitches poorly, but yet gets 6 runs of, support. That's a situation that I can't explain to you, but I'm looking at current form and the fact that they have won 8 of their last 11 games. I'm going to ride that with Minnesota and Ryan today. My feature game is my 4% American League game of the week, and I'm including in that package the rest of my baseball plays today. So you're going to get 3 or 4 plays total today. The 4% is already loaded. I'll continue to add plays to the package as the day goes on, and I confirm lineups and injury reports. But it's been a great 2024, Prez. You say it every time I come on, and knock on wood, we had a 2-2 night last night. One of those frustrating nights because it was looking 3-1. If it was football season and Teddy had the bad beat segment, it would have been my Chicago Cubs play last night, going to the bottom of the 9th, winning 4-2, and end up losing 5-4. That's a difference of a 3-1 night versus a 2-2 night. But we've got a big play tonight, and looking forward to it. You can head over to WagerTalk.com to grab the package. Don't forget, today's Load Your Cart Day. 25% off anything you put in your cart.